evidence gathering. We are operating with natural lightings of the time of day that the officer made a pedestrian stop, not a traffic stop. He claimed he made a traffic stop. Where's the motor vehicle? I was not operating a vehicle. But I am taking you to the exact location where it was at the exact timing. Well, general timing, I should say, around 2 a.m. So, since Miss Melissa Scarborough tries to tell me that I had no real reason to be walking with flow of traffic at the particular spot where we were at the time, I'm about to show you exactly why we were walking on the side we were walking on. Just bear with me, guys. First look. Alright. Alright. This isn't the spot, but give you a general idea about how dark it gets starting from here. Of course, I'm about to explain the legal definitions of the difference between a traffic stop and a pedestrian stop, and the legal implications of that. But yes, I am taking you to where Officer Leggett assaulted my wife and I on a pedestrian stop. But he claims he made a traffic stop. Well, the problem with that theory is there was no motor vehicle that we were operating. My wife and I had an electric scooter that is under 700, a top of 750 watt at the time, which the officer did, throwing my wife into the middle of the road. Nice one. You went and assaulted the nice one. Any husband, when you come up to somebody at 2 in the fucking morning and you just fucking snatch their wife from behind, any husband's going to jump to her defense. I don't care who you are. I don't care what they claim, because of their being an officer. Okay? Irrelevant. Any husband, any man is going to get a very defensive stance towards anyone who puts their hands on his wife. So, just to kind of give you an idea of this kind of situation here.
What it do, my G?
Same old, same old. Now, another legal aspect of what the officer's failing to understand or explain correctly is the law states that yes, you should walk against the flow of traffic when practicable. Okay, what is that? Now, what does when practicable mean? When safe, or in other words, reasonably safe to do so or feasible to do so. That's what that means. So, when I get up here, I'll show you. Now, this is what we call dead man's curve, right? This is curve 1 of dead man's curve. You see how dark that is? We have street lights now. At the time we did not. But yeah, you see the difference there? You see how dark that is? This is 2 in the morning. Okay. Not this curve, but the third curve. Second curve being the stop sign area where you make the right and then the left turn. So it'll be technically the third curve. Now my attorney says I have no legal basis to make any claim towards, why we were walking with the flow of traffic as opposed to why we would not be walking against the flow of traffic. Well, folks, y'all about to see for yourself. On live. Miss Melissa Scarborough, my public defender, is a very rude, disrespectful, and unprofessional lady who, for $1,000 of free money basically for her, she doesn't think that's enough money, so she's not going to do her job. I'm basically having to do her job while working 6 days a week to pay rent. Been working in the same place for 5 years. I've been off the streets. In other words, I started out homeless when I first started working at my job, and now I'm off the streets. I got my wife and I off the streets by going to work for 5 years straight. We are not homeless. This son of a bitch put it on his report that he made that we were homeless, or I'm sorry, that I was homeless. I got 2 years worth of documentation that proves I ain't been homeless for 2 years straight. Now here's the dead man's curve that I am currently talking about. We have a car coming. Oh, nope, bike, my bad. Yeah, there's a street light on this side. That does not mean shit. Now, I have photo proof before this stoplight, or not stoplight, this street light right here was put in. Okay, I have photo evidence of how dangerous that road was at that point in time. There was no street light right here. That is a new installation. At the time of this incident, that street light there did not exist. And I have proof to back that up. Also, I have photo evidence. Now, you see that corner there? That's the shrubbery that we're talking about here. Okay. You see how dense that is? That is what you call dense shrubbery. That is a legal basis to be walked. That's a car coming. With the flow of traffic instead of against traffic. I am not going to be able to see a car coming for shit until it hits me. So, like I said, that street light right there, that was not here at the time, and I have proof to back it up. I have photos before that was ever installed. Now, this one here, yes, was installed, but from there to this one right here, this was the distance from where my public defender is basically indicating the stoplight, but she's trying to use this one. Okay, you can't use this stoplight because it wasn't here at the time of the incident. It does not give you an accurate picture of what actually happened or the dangerous situation of it. Like I said, I have photo proof. My attorney doesn't even want to see it. My attorney does not want to call the witness, has not called the witness. The courts have not spoken to the witness at all. It was never recorded of anything of the witness's statement. Now, I will be posting that photo as well once I can figure out how to post it on my videos. Let's see if I can't see something here. I can't. Let's see. Go ahead and get. Well, I'm not gonna stand on this side. That's just fucking stupid. But this has a wide enough area. I can go back farther right here. I am in clear. I can see both ways coming at the moment. All right. Now bear with me, folks. I am currently trying to find out how to attach a photo to my, what do you call it? To my live feed. I don't know if I have to wait until I'll probably have to wait. Well, maybe I can create a highlight. No. Oh well, I'll figure out how to add it on here after I post my video. And also have a video of the car, which during daylight hours, mind you, okay? I have to be careful because this is basically a dangerous road. All right, where my flashlight is hitting right there. That's the shrubbery that we're talking about. That's what she's trying to basically say, that I had no real reason to even be on this side compared to this side. I cannot see a lick of cars coming from that area. And the night that the officer assaulted my wife and I, we were on that side there for that exact reason. So, oh, perfect actually. Timing. Alright, this is a perfect example of how quick a car can appear and disappear from that spot that quick. It was that quick. Now imagine somebody flying around that corner. You think I'm going to walk on this side? I cannot see what's coming. It's not feasible. It's not practical. Okay? We were traveling by foot. Okay? The definition, the legal definition between a traffic stop, okay, and a pedestrian stop is mode of transportation. You made a pedestrian stop, which in and of itself, you cannot, I do not, all right, I am not required, neither physically nor verbally, to present ID or to identify myself short of a criminal statute being investigated. Investigated, my bad. I'm tired, guys, so bear with me here. But other than a non-criminal pedestrian stop, okay, that is non-criminal, means it is a civil matter, okay? You football tackled me. That's considered a hard, empty hand control technique, not a soft, empty hand control technique. Especially not when you go from, see, we're probably about, generally, that's the bush he landed me at. Our bike was about here. So from right here to right there, okay? How you gonna land me way over here from right here? That's roughly the general distance. How are you gonna say that that was soft, empty hand control techniques? You come up out of nowhere, no lights, in the middle of the road, and you stop. My wife and I, mind you, were off to the side right here. We never even had an opportunity to get on our scooter. We were going to wait for him to go by. Didn't even get a chance to do that. So, no crime being committed. I clearly have a legal basis to even be on the side. Not that I need one. The discretion of safety is completely up to me and my discretion here, okay? It is not feasible nor safe to walk on this side. Mind you, now, fucking stay on this side for a second. There's a pothole right there too. Mindful of this spot right here. Now, even right here, you can barely see a car coming flying. And there's a pothole right here. You telling me that is a safe spot to walk? Are you a devil? Yeah, there's a stoplight at the time. This one right here. I don't know if you can. There we go. There we go. All right. Now, why does it keep going upside down? Get out of the road here. There we go. But at the time, that stoplight existed right there. This one right here did not. And that one, that first one right there did. It was pitch black at this location. Now here's what I'm right there. That is a dangerous corner. But you're saying I don't have any reason to be walking with the flow of traffic at this particular location. Officer Leggett, are you stupid? Sergeant Graves, are you stupid? Mononigal, are you freaking stupid? Were you all born last night? Matter of fact, the officers know that there was no stoplight at that particular point. It was pitch black. He did not care. Some random person stops in the middle of the road jumps out of their car, starts yelling stop at 2 in the morning at a pitch black location. You think I'm fucking stopping for anyone? No lights at 2 in the morning. Departmental procedure would require you at that point in time of night to activate your lights at the very least, which in turn activates the dash cam recorder. Officer Leggett did not activate any lights at 2 in the morning at a pitch black location at the time, and did not want to provide. Why is that? Until like a week before the second court date. Okay, I was arrested in February. It is now June of 2026. Therefore, well, they now you see what side that thing is on, that roadblock there. So obviously why I'm walking with the flow of traffic right here. Not to mention this is the second part of Dead Man's Curve. So listen up, Escambia County Sheriff's Office. In order for it to be a traffic stop, a motor vehicle must have been operated on the public roadway, not a bicycle. Mode of transportation would be walking at that point. And again, this is how dark it gets. You can tell how dark that is even right here in this one spot. So imagine this spot right here, about where, just on a much bigger scale. So no, just this one here, you got a pretty much a dark hallway. So and you're citing me over my safety, which you think you dictate, which you basically, without coming out and flat out saying that you wanted me to get hit by a car, you basically told me to go get hit by a car and die. That is the implications of this. Because yes, with a traffic stop, you generally are required to provide, or not provide, present ID. In other words, show ID. Proof of insurance and registration. That is for a motor vehicle. Again, you cannot have a traffic stop without a motor vehicle involved. Sorry, it just doesn't work that way. There's a reason for that. Now, Florida law even states that walking against the flow of traffic, or with the flow of traffic, is not a strict one code fits all, none whatsoever may be accepted. There is flexible depending on circumstances and obviously, road conditions. So dense shrubbery does permit a feasible reason why you would be walking against the flow of traffic or with the flow of traffic, depending on which side you're traveling on. Now, at that location, as you could see yourselves live, at the exact time frame that Officer Leggett stopped us and committed his assault for a non-criminal pedestrian stop, not a criminal stop. Not an investigatory stop for criminal behavior. In other words, a criminal statute. He had no reasonable, articulable suspicion of a crime that was being committed, had been committed, or was in the process of. You would think that at 2 in the morning, pitch black location, you would want to attempt to de-escalate, not escalate. Officer Leggett straight escalated within seconds of him jumping out of his cruiser, yelling stop, snatching my wife by her hair and purse backwards. Now, mind you, my wife has degenerative disc disease. If she'd have fell just the wrong way, she could have ended up injured or severely or worse. Okay? So, yes, you snatching my wife around like that is going to provoke me. Now, when you, as an officer, intentionally provoke someone into a physical altercation, guess what, dude? Your qualified immunity is no longer valid, okay? It's not like I'm just over here acting stupid and violent for no fucking reason, dude. You provoked a physical, or you nearly provoked a physical altercation just to justify a use of force. That's not how that works, son. You assaulted a First Amendment officer. I've been beating your charges for 5 years straight. That's why you're fucking gunning for me. The entire department, and yes, I have video that the entire department has already unanimously agreed that they're going to come and arrest me if my name is ever brought up in any circumstance. Doesn't matter whether I could have been in the right or in the wrong. I'm the one that they have made clear that they will target. So, and that was from a previous case. And here it is, yet again, making good on their promise to arrest me no matter what, just because my name come up. This entire case reeks of dirty cop. All right, folks. Till next time.